this point, you can kind of throw the seeds out the window now that you're all the way on a Wednesday here in the state championship, and that's why they play the games. I think patience is going to be a key for the Wolves. You want to make Bo Sampson throw you some strikes, especially early. You also, if you like a first pitch, if you think Sampson might give you a fastball, sometimes you can throw the patience out the window. So pitch selection, I guess, would be another key for the Green Canyon Wolves. And then, taking advantage of runners in scoring position, execution, things like that are always paramount in the state tournament. For Crimson, obviously, they got a lot of confidence in Bo Sampson on the bump. They got to play mistake-free defense behind him, and that's pretty easy to do when you've got this defensive lineup. I mean, Jager Baldwin's probably the best right fielder in 4A, I think. Petey Soto's one of the best shortstops in 4A, and plenty of other talent. Breck Starley is a really good catcher behind the dish.
He is, athletically, he's strong, he's big, he's fast. He's got the whole package as an athlete.
So anything else for the Mustangs?
No, we're going to get going here. They're looking like they're about ready to take the field. Brexton Stardy kind of stretching out a little bit. Looks like he's going to start off at first base. Well, you've got the starting lineups. Let's go.
Yeah, House of Jump starting lineups. Start up your next birthday party for your kids at the House of Jump, 415 South Dixie Drive in St. George. For the visitors, the Green Canyon Wolves, it will be number 23, Stewart, playing first and batting number 1 in the lineup. Number 6, Matthews in right field. Atkinson, the shortstop, batting third. Bob will play third base and batting the cleanup spot. Proctor hitting 5th, the catcher. Finley, the DH, batting 6th. Jensen, the pitcher, will hit in the 7th spot in the lineup. Eborn, the second baseman. And then Peterson will round out the order and play center field. Stewart's playing left, but they're DHing for Stewart to start this game. For Coach Abbott and the Mustangs, here's your House of Jump starting lineup. Jager Baldwin in right field, batting first. Ty Maynard, the catcher, batting second. Petey Soto Jr. batting third, the shortstop. Trey Evans in left field in the cleanup spot. Breck Starley batting 5th, playing first base. And then you got Tyler West in center field. He had a multi-hit game yesterday. Him and Ty Maynard had multiple hits yesterday in the Mustangs win. McKay Wright will DH. Tate Maynard at third, Steele Barbin at second, and Bo Sampson is your starting pitcher for Coach Abbott and the Mustangs. Thank you, House of Jump. HouseofJump.com. Sampson, the lefty, getting his warm-up tosses in here at the UCCU ballpark. One of our great partners here on KSLSports.com, bringing you the live stream today.
Let's keep an eye on Jager Baldwin as well. He kind of injured or hurt. I don't want to say injured, but he kind of hurt that shoulder sliding into third yesterday. They thought it was maybe kind of popped out a little bit. He was working it last night, yesterday as well, all during the game. We'll just kind of keep an eye on him, make sure that he's 100%.
Well, Jager Baldwin is tough.
He is a tough kid.
You're not taking him out of the lineup.
No, you're not taking him out of the lineup, but let's just... hopefully it's not a factor.
He'll still run through a wall for you. And
we both coached him. We both know that.
Yeah, we were. Sure. Me and Mark were about 3rd through 8th grade. He was on the youth football team that we helped out with back many moons ago, and then
we were with him for baseball. Jim and I, and playing with Dixie Hitmen.
And he's going to play Salt Lake Community College just up the freeway here.
Yeah.
For the Bruins. Sampson continued his warm-up tosses. Pretty crisp little quick warm-up for Bo Sampson, and we are moments away from the first pitch in this elimination game in the 4A State Baseball Championships, presented by the Boulevard. For over 48 years, making your house more like home. Buy smart, buy at the Boulevard. Thanks to our pregame sponsor, Finley Subaru, House of Jump, helping us out with the starting lineups. We had the anthem before the first game. We do have the softball going on over at the complex, Cottonwood Complex over there. Desert Hills is playing Skyview right now, and that game just went final, I believe. Lulu West helping the Thunder to a 1-0 win. And we'll be giving you a lot of Nets on Fire updates throughout the game, as the first pitch from Sampson is a swing and a miss for strike 1.
Sampson is a power pitcher from the left side. He does get a lot of swing and misses. Occasionally he can kind of work around the zone, walk a few too many, but normally this senior season he has not had control problems. But he is a power pitcher, and he will get strikeouts.
No question. And here is the 1-1 pitch from Sampson. And a swing and a miss, strike 2. 8 minutes behind schedule. Pretty good. 1:38 first pitch start time here. Was scheduled for 1:30, so pretty much right on time here.
And Bo's velo, he will hit 90 on occasion for sure. He can live right around that low 90 area.
And that one missing now, 2-2. Javen Ross got the win yesterday. The other ace lefty on this staff, and he stayed under that. He pitched 84 pitches, so he's got to get a couple days rest, but he'll be available if Crimson can get later into this tournament. And that one fouled up and out of play. Count remains 2-2 to Stewart, who's fighting here on the opening matchup of this scheduled 7-inning baseball game. All turf field here. I haven't been here for 3 or 4 years. So last time I was here, it was grass and dirt. That one missing, count now full, just nibbling on the edges, just missing.
That was just outside of the K zone on the outer part. Certainly could have called that, but
Sampson, lefty delivery, swing and a miss, and there's an S&S mechanical strikeout for Bo Sampson, his first of the afternoon.
And again, being a power pitcher, he will throw the high fastball, but then he'll throw the breaking ball, and it's nasty after you just saw that 89, 90 mile per hour fastball.
So 1 up, 1 down. Stewart goes down swinging, and here is the pitch to Matthews. And 1-0. Just even when Sampson misses, he's always around the plate.
He is.
Great command from the left side. The wind-up delivery just a bit inside.
Not many like waste pitches, not many throwaway pitches. He's always going to make you think that it's going to be in the zone or close to it.
Sampson, and that one missing. Maybe a little upstairs, missing the K zone. 3-0. So good eye here by Matthews, being very patient. We talked about that moments ago in the Findlay Subaru pregame show.
Yeah.
Sampson throws a strike right down Broadway. 3-1 the count. Play-by-play today brought to you by Luke Udy, Udy & Associates, your local American family insurance agency. Get a free quote today on their Southern Utah locations. Matthews protecting the plate there, getting after a 3-1 pitch. Kind of had a green light. Liked it, but only could fight it off.
We certainly hope you're liking our center field cam. It's a little bouncy out there, but boy, I love the view from center field. Looking into home plate.
And a swing and a shot up the middle. Soto trying to get to it, and he can't. Barberman was trying to get to it behind Petey Soto, and that's a single, 1-out single by Matthews on a full count pitch.
Petey would have been the only one that would have had a play at first base. Even if Barberman knocks that down, there's no chance of getting Matthews. But great effort by the middle infield of the Mustangs. But West is the fielder that initially just picked it up and tossed it in.
Here is Atkinson, number 3 hitter in the lineup.
Atkinson hitting over 400 as well.
And the first pitch to Atkinson, swing and a miss, strike 1. Green Canyon coach Kyle Buback up there in Region 11, Cache Valley, the forest green and silver. We got the white jerseys. Both teams seem to be wearing white jerseys today.
Yeah, one's trimmed with green, one's trimmed with red.
Here's the 1-0 pitch, just a bit inside. John Anderson, the principal of Green Canyon. Missy Stewart, the athletic director for the Wolves. Again, it kind of opens up some eyes with that win on Monday.
Yeah, again, that was a Coleman Bob day for sure. He did it offensively, defensively. And if he can have a repeat performance of that day today, then the Wolves definitely have an opportunity to make things a little bit miserable for the Mustangs.
3-2 count now. No, excuse me, 1-1 count now for Sampson. And Bo puts that ball behind his back now, gloves it into the mitt.
There goes the runner.
Yeah, they're going to try to swipe second, throw is high, and Matthews has a Jason Baum banqueting home loan, stolen base, and is into scoring position here in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, Wolves being a little aggressive on the base paths right now. I know it's early.
The revenge factor of this game for Crimson, with them losing on Monday 5-1 in that Coleman Bob game, as you say.
Yeah, that's right.
Crimson would looking for revenge, and so tough to beat a team twice in a 3-day stretch.
Especially a good team.
Yep, I mean, and seeing another lefty, reports out of Region 11 after seeing some teams up here this week through the state tournament, there's not a lot of lefty pitchers in Region 11. And, of course, Osborne pitched on Monday. Yeah. He's a lefty. Javen Ross pitched yesterday, and Sampson today. So Green Canyon's seeing another lefty. I don't have the numbers on righties and lefties on how the Wolves hit against lefties.
Right.
But there's a lot more righties in high school baseball in the state of Utah than left-handed pitchers.
Oh, absolutely.
Are you ambidextrous? Could you throw left-handed?
Oh, heavens, no. No, I am full-on righty. I'm just normal.
And that one trying to get the change up to just nibble on the outside edge and doesn't get the call. And it's just a full count. Again, 3 batters in a row that went full count.
Yeah.
How about the patient key?
Exactly. Coming into play already, Deb.
He's doing, being very patient.
Hey, this ain't your first rodeo. Or your first baseball game.
Adrenaline, nerves, all factor, I think, early on. You got to feel each other out a little bit. And the swing and a pop-up out of play, straight back. It's the Cache Valley foul ball. Mountains Await, your financial outfitter. Locations all over the state of Utah.
That's a good confident swing by Atkinson, too. He looked like he read that ball right out of Bo's hand and put a confident swing on it. Fouled it straight back.
Atkinson, 400. Batting average. 19 runs driven in, 7 doubles, 3 triples, and a home run. And he's going to go opposite field. This one twisting down the line. Jager Baldwin has room in foul territory and makes the out. For out number 2, they do tag Matthews from second down to third.
And you might not think that's a very big deal, but he did move the run over. I know there's 2 outs, but that brings in a pass ball.
Yes.
Could score a run. So, again, a good piece of hitting by Atkinson, going the other way, putting it up in the air, enough for his runner to advance from second to third.
Today's game brought to you by Intermountain Sports Performance. Take your training this summer to the next level. There is no off-season, summer training, ground force. No matter what sport, they have sport-specific, science-based training packages. Locations, Intermountain Sports Performance from Logan to St. George. And a swing and a miss by the cleanup hitter, Coleman Bob. Big cut there.
Now they are shading him to the left. Center fielder West out there. Definitely, they're kind of squeezing that left center gap out there. Big right center gap.
Here's the pitch, and it's high and away.
I don't think I'd be throwing outside pitches right now, just with how much grass there is between Baldwin and West. I would definitely want to bust him inside. And maybe that's what Maynard is going to go out and talk to Bo about. We have our defense positioned. Let's not give an outside pitch and let him go with the pitch where our defense isn't. Again, a lot of grass out there. Big gap out there between Baldwin and West.
See Coleman Bob there, 1 foot in the box, 1 foot out of the Buck Brand Beef batter box.
Boy, he is a big kid.
Now he's hugging. That toe is right on the chalk line there, or the turf line. There's the fastball inside. Ball 2, 2-1 the count now. With 2 away, no score, top of the first inning on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard.
Bo, this will be his 23rd pitch.
And painting the plate with a called strike. 2-2 the count.
Again, Coleman Bob. Even a good at bat, even if he gets out here, if he could get Bo to throw about 3 or 4 more pitches, maybe foul off a couple, that would be still considered a good at bat. Get him close to 30 pitches, maybe around 25. This will be his 25th pitch.
And a swing and a miss and an S&S mechanical strikeout. Sampson strikes out 2 of the 4 batters he faces. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left on base, no errors, and we go to the bottom half of inning number 1. No score here from the UCCU field at Utah Valley University on the Fan Sports Network, KSLSports.com.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you could still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the...
Hello? Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Inspired design. Ultra quiet operation. To you, it's a Bryant Evolution cooling system. To us, it's the ultimate machine.
All set.
For the dealer nearest you, visit Bryant.com.
Experience the ultimate golfing adventure at Coral Canyon Golf Course.
Hey, we're back here. And here come the Mustangs getting their first ABs of this scheduled 7-inning game presented by the Boulevard. No score. Green Canyon did get a runner in a scoring position, though. And Jensen getting his warm-up tosses in here. Seen a lot of work this year. Strong guy. We saw him play some shortstop. He can play about anywhere. And
I've seen him play short. I've seen him play third. Now he's on the bump. Jager Baldwin will be leading off. Jager's batting .403 on the year. That I would consider that a success.
Yeah, no question. He's had a great year, and that's why he was kind of a late signee this spring.
Yeah.
Right, kind of around the start of the season. Salt Lake Community College. I think it's a good place for him to go play for 2 years. And he plays well, get a chance to move on to a bigger school.
Maybe back to Utah Tech or maybe even somewhere up in UVU.
The defense behind Jensen looks like this. You've got the catcher, Proctor, and then you've got over there at third, Coleman Bob. Shortstop is Atkinson. Second baseman, Eborn. And then over at first base is Stewart. Outfield, Stewart also in left, spelled differently. Peterson in center. And Matthews, the speedy Matthews, who got all the way to third base after a single, is in right field. It's your defensive alignment. First pitch in for a called strike at the knees. Temperatures upper 70s, a little overcast. Supposed to rain today in Salt Lake, but there's no rain in the forecast here in Orem. And now in looped high and softly into center field. And easy play out there in center made. Peterson kind of camped underneath it. There's the Wasatch Snow-Capped Mountains record snowpack this year.
Yeah, it's gorgeous up there.
Filling up Lake Powell for Mark to go do some windsurfing.
Oh, yeah. You know who's laughing really hard at that comment right now is my wife, Macy.
You're not a water guy.
No, not a water guy at all.
Okay. They have life jackets, Mark.
I know. I just think like
Can you not swim?
No, I can swim. I'd look silly doing it, though. That's for sure. Ty Maynard.
Maynard, yep, stepping in. Ty and Tate, they're identical twin brothers. Ty wears 28. Tate wears number 8.
Ty batting .431.
Yeah, that's why he's moved all the way up to the number 2 spot in the lineup.
Both Maynards, they've always been good hitters, both Ty and Tate. I've been around them since they've been 7-8 years old, and they've always worked on their trade of hitting. They're always in the cages over at Summit Field.
Jensen painting the outside part of the plate for a strike, and it's 2-1. Yeah, they grew up wrestling, too. Devin Maynard, their dad, had him. Yeah. They kind of gave up wrestling a little bit later in high school, though, didn't they?
They did.
Jensen rocks, fires, and Maynard fouls it up and out of play. Another Cache Valley Bank foul ball.
They decided to go full-time with baseball. And I certainly don't fault them for that decision. Baseball is certainly my favorite sport. Yes, I like it. I like baseball over football and basketball. That pitch up and in on Maynard. It's going to take it to a full count. So Jensen only 2 pitches to Baldwin. Goes full count here to tie Maynard. Jensen delivers.
And is swinging a drive.
Shot out to center field, and he just camps underneath it for out number 2.
Yeah, Peterson getting a little work there with the put out. And pretty good start for Jensen, I'd say, on the bump.
Yeah. And
looks
now,
calm, cool, collect, all those things.
Now, definitely one of the best hitters in really the state of Utah. He's batting .500. I didn't say 400. I said .500, Dev.
Yeah, first pitch swinging popped him up. Petey Soto gets under. That one's going to be lifted to the second baseman, and that is Eborn, and he makes the grab for out number 3. So Jensen comes in, mows him down. 3 up, 3 down. And we go to the second inning when we come back here. No score on the Wilkinson scoreboard on KSLSports.com. The live stream and radio in St. George and up there on 107.7 in Cache Valley. Glad you're with us. Settle in. This could be a pitcher's duel if things look like they did here in the first inning. We'll be right back.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in Southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News
With every
today.
wash, get 10 cents off per gallon of gas at Fabulous Freddy's.
Back here live, UCCU ball field, home of the Wolverines. Luke Iverson hit for the cycle here against Utah yesterday. Mark, did you hear about that?
No, I did not.
Former Pineview Panther?
Yeah. Oh, I remember Iverson. One of my favorite players.
Had a grand slam.
Jeez.
In that game last night. College baseball scores across the country kind of seemed up.
Yeah, they really have been.
You know, watching Utah and BYU, some of their shootouts, Utah Tech, some of the WAC baseball scores, that scoring's been up. Sampson back out, top of 2. And here's the catcher, Proctor, to lead off. One hit for the Wolves, but they couldn't score that run in the top of the first. See if they can get a leadoff man aboard here with Proctor, good hitter at the plate. That was missing ball 1.
Proctor batting .373 on the season.
Good numbers.
Yeah, the top 4 or 5 hitters for Green Canyon, really good numbers. That's a line foul over the first base dugout. Yeah, but then it drops off a little bit after their 5, 6, beyond that. Then they're batting in the low to mid 2s.
Nibbling at the bottom part of that K zone there was Bo Sampson.
Proctor did not like that call.
Strike 2.
Usually when they do that little neck crink, they don't like it.
And another Cache Valley Bank foul ball. That one fought off out of play. You can see the family across Bo Sampson's white uniform. The undershirt he's wearing must be a team shirt. Above his 34 as he rocks, fires. That breaking ball doesn't snap it off and it stays away. 2-2 the count. Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave with you. As always, we'll be looking to hand out our Hearst Ace Hardware Player of the Game. We'll also pick the AWP Playmaker Play of the Game, as well as some other awards in our post-game show. Still no score here. Early moments of this game, top of the second inning. And that one fouled off again. 2-2 pitch coming here. for Bo. Sampson just a little bit high, I believe.
Proctor has 3 doubles, 2 triples on the year. No dingers, although he looks like a strong kid.
And that one fought off into the right field, and that's caught by Jager Baldwin. He started in hard, then stopped in his tracks and reached up and makes the catch for out number 1.
Yeah, line shot. Again, those line drives hit right at you as an outfielder are the most difficult balls to judge. So, yeah, he took 2 or 3 hard steps, but ended up right in his glove.
So Proctor lines out. So Baldwin in right. And Finley steps in. Right-handed batter. Sampson first pitch breaks back over the plate for strike 1.
Finley batting .254. Has 4 doubles on the year.
That one fought off. And it's 0-2, so quickly Sampson ahead in the count. Extra ball comes out to Bo. He'll flip that one back to Maynard, who is catching today. Starley is getting... Yeah, it's kind of nice that you have multiple catchers that you can really trust if you're Justin Abbott.
Absolutely.
Know?
Yeah, when you have 2...
And a swing and a miss. It does get away, though. Finley, slow start out of the box, but he is going to reach anyway and be safe down at first base as that one got all the way over there by the Wolves' dugout off of the padded barrier.
It's almost like his brain had to process the fact that that was a drop third strike because he did pause in the box for just a second. I thought it was going to cost him, but he was able to hustle down there and become a base runner.
And there is quite a bit of territory here behind home plate, probably a little bit more so even than BYU. The dimensions of the park are not listed on the wall, but this is not quite as big of a ballpark as BYU either. So will we see more home runs today? That's the question. Oh, and it hits him.
He's out.
It hits Finley, and he is out.
Oh, as a base runner, you got to know where that ball is coming. And just kind of put the brakes on, let it go by you, and maybe try to distract the second baseman that way. But you've got to be a little bit more heads up and know where that ball is coming.
Yeah, that one, a chopper hit well, but not a missile off the bat.
No.
But see it again. He's just not looking. He's just running.
Just didn't.
And it clipped the back of his foot as his foot was coming up, running. Maybe out of his peripheral, he thought it was going to get behind him. But he was looking at second and just going straight ahead. Sampson delivers a strike there to Jensen.
And again, Green Canyon being patient at the plate. You had mentioned this in the keys to the game. And already Sampson, that's a called strike for 0-2 the count. And already Sampson up to 37 pitches. So the patience is really paying off, getting his pitch count up.
Jensen's at first. This is Eborn at the plate. 0-2 quickly as Sampson dialing it up on the bump. The delivery. Outside ball 1. How tall is Bo? Is he listed 6'5"?
I don't know what he's listed at. But yeah, he's got to be 6'4"-ish.
Bo played a little football coming up through the youth football ranks and then settled in on just baseball. Runner will go. Sampson will step off, he'll throw, and they got him at second base. It took Sampson a second to see he was going. Once he did, just in the nick of time to get that out.
And I love the aggressiveness on the base paths. However, that's a fancy but. However, that takes pitches away from getting his. So again, I like it, but I don't like it.
Great shots from our camera crew. We go to the middle of the second here. No score on the Wilkinson scoreboard. Wolves, Mustangs locked in a good one here early on. Stay with us.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Adams Wealth Advisory is a financial planning firm that is combined with an investment firm to provide the best possible outcomes for our clients.
I always believe if you're intentional with your financial plan, things are going to work out really well for you.
Visit AdamsWealthAdvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today.
Thanks. Hey, we're back. Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave, Boulevard Home, bringing you high school state championship 4A coverage here on the Fan Sports Network in St. George. We're also coming in up in Cache Valley on radio, picking up the games as well. So our sister station's up there on 107.7 KLZX. And then, of course, if you're watching on the live stream, presented by UCCU, we're at UCCU Ball Field here, and we go to Trey Evans after Jensen retired all three Mustangs in order, so Evans to lead off the second.
He threw one right down the pipe for a strike one.
And that one stays away, 1-1. Trey has had a great eye. Had such a sensational sophomore season, but the hamstring injury kept him out the whole season this year.
Boy, hammies can linger on.
And I don't think Trey's still 100%. If I had to guess, he's probably more like 75, 80%. But he wants to be out there, try to help the Mustangs go back-to-back and repeat as 4A state champs. Had a missile he hit to the graveyard in center field yesterday at BYU that the center fielder made a great play going back on. But looking to kind of, shake off the rust of not playing all season long. They tried to get him some at-bats in the middle of the season in a JV game, and he re-aggravated the hammy, and that sidelined him all the way pretty much to the state tournament. You can see the good eye again by Trey Evans, and you can see he's kind of still running a little ginger there, Mark.
Yeah, and they stayed outside on him, didn't throw anything on the inner part of the plate because he can really pull the ball. That is definitely his strength. Now big Brexton Stardy steps in.
Rex has 7 home runs this season, one of the top guys in the state. Puts him in the top 10 in home runs hit.
Jensen has already thrown almost as many pitches in this inning as he did the first inning. He got out of that bottom of the first with only throwing 9 pitches.
Snap throw from Jensen over there to first.
He was very efficient. He was pounding the zone. But he acted like he wanted no part of Evans. And this is another hitter that he has to be careful of, but you still want to challenge him. That ball is way outside. 2-0 the count here now to Starley. Again, leadoff walks normally come back to bite you.
And that one just to the top of the K zone. First strike to Brex. Good location there by Jensen.
We'll see if this leadoff walk comes back to bite Jensen and the Wolves.
Jensen got out of that first inning, retiring all 3 batters in 9 pitches.
Yeah.
And Starley hits this one to short, and it's going to get through. Glove didn't get down, and it went off the foot of Atkinson, and that's going to be a sharply hit single. Didn't ever get the glove to it.
It would have been a tough
would he have got to it? And if he dives, he stops it great, but does he have time to get up and still make a play?
Even if he gloves it right there, he's going to have to do the Derek Jeter jump throw, and that's just difficult for a high school shortstop to make that throw all the way across to first base. So I think regardless, it's probably an infield single, even if he does glove it.
Here is Jensen now, dealing with Ty West. And then Ty's going to square to bunt and lay it down. They're going to go to third, get the lead runner. That's a really good decision you have to make quick, and Jensen makes that play. And it looked like West hesitated whether he was actually going to offer it that pitch or not.
Well, and, you know, the one thing you don't want to do is bunt it directly back to the pitcher so that he has an option. You want to get that off to his left or off to his right. Here it is right here.
Designated hitter, number 3.
It looked like the angle of the it was trying to get it more down the first baseline.
Yeah.
But because that pitch was not over the plate, that was a tough pitch to actually handle. And West still got it down.
Yeah, looking back, he probably wishes he'd have pulled back on that one and gone to the next pitch to bunt.
Here is McKay Wright, the DH, who's hitting .450 this year, and he rips it off the glove of Atkinson, and it caroms into center field. And that's going to be another hit, I believe, for the Mustangs, who have them loaded up here in the bottom of the second inning.
Well, and what the line shot and the deflection did, though, is that it froze Starley at second, so he wasn't able to score. On a line drive, you're always taught to freeze, and Starley did. Everybody did the correct thing.
Tate Maynard now with the sacks full here. Tate, this year, 321, the season batting average coming into this game this afternoon for Tate Maynard. Twin brother, him and Ty. You think they fight over dinner? Twin brothers?
I'll bet they do. Why wouldn't they? They're brothers.
Jensen whips one in there for a called strike one.
I mean, don't all brothers?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I can't remember which one's older, though, by like 3 minutes.
Tate has always been bigger, and I don't know if that has anything to do with anything. But
and there's a swing and a drive, and this was going to go right to the left, caught by Stewart. They're going to tag, cut off, relay, not in time. It gets away, so everybody's going to advance to second and third, and Crimson has the 1-0 lead on a sac fly by Maynard.
And not a good decision by Coleman Bob there to just turn and whip that ball to home plate.
Should have ate it.
What's that?
Should have ate it. Should have
ate it, absolutely, because now it puts the runners in scoring position again, takes the force off everywhere.
So Jensen now tries to regroup here. Still just one out. 2 ducks on the pond out there at second, third for Still Barbin, the junior. Still making a name for himself last fall, helping the Mustang football team get all the way to the state championship. Couldn't get the win in that title bout against D Hills, but Barbara will be back for his senior season. Plays basketball, baseball, football. One of the rare 3-sport athletes. You just don't see as many of them anymore.
No, you don't, and that's why actually at Desert Hills, I don't know if they do this at other schools, they actually have an award at awards night for 3-sport athletes because that's how rare it is.
Trying to think, Taven Mortensen played 3 sports this year. He went out for soccer.
Yeah.
Trying to think of anybody else in the region. Still Barbara, obviously Crimson. Owen Mackey does track, volleyball, and basketball, but volleyball is coming in as a sanctioned sport, boys volleyball. I hear Owen Mackey at Snow Canyon is a better volleyball player than potentially basketball player, which boggles my mind because he's one of the best players in 4A.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
0-2 pitch to Barbin. And it's outside, ball 1. One run on 2 hits already in the inning here.
Jensen's pitches have skyrocketed from 9 to now 25. He was so efficient in the bottom of the first.
Barbin fouls it straight back, just swung underneath that fastball from Jensen. Jensen. Suey Jensen. I wonder if there's Suey's parents are System of a Down fans. Chop Suey.
Yeah.
One of my favorite hard metal songs. Now outside.
He's got some hair out there underneath that ball cap that he probably listens to a little metal.
Do you know the song I'm talking about, Chop Suey? Do you know that song?
I don't know.
Oh.
If it wasn't,
you're more of a classic rock.
Yeah, if it wasn't from 1979 to 1991, I really don't know it.
And a swing and a miss, and an S&S mechanical strikeout, and that'll end the threat. But Crimson does get 1 run on 2 hits. They do leave 2 on base, and 1 error there in the inning as well. And we go to the middle of the after 2 complete innings, I should say. 1-0 on the Wilkinson scoreboard here on the Fan Sports Network, KSLSports.com, and 107.7 up in Cache Valley. We'll be back.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
In Utah, we love our sports. At KSL, we live and breathe sports. Wherever the action is.
Look who we found in Pasadena.
We're there. Wherever you are. Tune in. On air, online, and on the new KSL Sports app. We cover it all. From high school to pro. And the only radio team that's home to the Utah Jazz. KSL Sports Live and KSL Sports Zone. The one team that never stops tracking your team.
Your appointment today at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, 656-0511.
Here we go for the 3rd inning. And Wolves trail now by 1. Sampson back out there. Sampson and Jensen, the pitching matchup here on a Wednesday from the UCCU field on the campus of Utah Valley University. Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave, Dusty Allen, our TV producer. Cannon Seacrest, Caden Formaster, helping us out with camera work today. Rory Brosnan back in the Fan Sports Network Finley Hyundai Studios, Command Center in St. George. Eric and the guys up there in Cache Valley. We're everywhere, statewide, Mark.
Yeah, and hey, we are in a pitching duel right here, right now at UVU campus.
Micah Eborn will stay in the batter's box. He was at the plate. He'll get a fresh pitch count when they got that wheel play at second and threw out the runner to end the inning.
This is an elimination game.
Yeah, no need to panic though. Both these teams seem pretty comfortable. I'm not seeing a lot of nerves. I mean, 1 error committed in the game by the Wolves. That's it. Both these teams well coached. Coach Bubak and Coach Abbott both doing a great job, obviously, to get their teams to this point in the season.
Absolutely.
Sampson, here's the 2-0 pitch, and now it's 3-0. That one's high and outside. Jensen got that big strikeout to end the last inning, and now Sampson has his first lead of the game and needs a strike and gets a strike. That was the off-speed pitch that broke back over the outside part of the plate. He's working quickly, and he lost him. That one down low. Eborn is aboard with the base on balls.
And one thing I would have reminded Bo before he went out, and I'm sure Coach Abbott and the staff did, is, hey, you're at the 8 and 9 hole of their lineup. Just go at them. Just go at him. He gave him a free pass. Again, leadoff walks normally come back to bite you.
Here's Peterson squaring the bunt, lays it down right to Sampson, turns, fires softly over to first. Sack bunt laid down by Peterson, a 277 hitter, so executing what coach wanted there, and 1 out.
Yeah, I love that play. Again, with a 1-0 ball game, now you got the tying run and scoring position down at second base. And I'll tell you, Bo almost tossed that over there a little bit too softly. Peterson just about beat that out.
He's got some wheels.
Yes.
Number 23, Caden Stewart.
And back to Stewart here. This is Caden Stewart. You see Eborn get a little lead off second. Inside ball 1 from Sampson. Stewart 0 for 1. Top of the order table setter, but a chance here to drive in a run.
Looks like Coach Abbott's going to go out and talk to his lefty out there. He's going to bring the infield in as well to join him.
Stewart only hitting .208, 13 runs batted in on the season. And Nets on Fire meeting on the mound. Nets on Fire, the ultimate basketball training facility in southern Utah. Go to netsonfire.org. Check out all their tournament schedule. They got their Ignite Summer AU program. Kids of all ages playing, representing Ignite and Nets on Fire. Got the Be More Complex there, which is awesome, with Intermountain Sports Performance in there.
Yeah.
You got the roller skating rink. You got a bunch of other, got a new restaurant that just opened up there. It's a great facility. Check it out next time you're in St. George. Proud sponsor of high school sports here on the network. Earlier today, one game already in the books. It was Mountain Crest 15-5 win over their counterpart up there in Region 11, Bear River. Bear River's tournament ends with that loss, and Mountain Crest will move on to play Snow Canyon this afternoon.
Pickoff attempt at second base. Unsuccessful by the Mustangs, just keeping Eborn as close as they can. They would love to, even if Stewart gets a hit here, just have him stay at third. So try to keep him as close as they can. Outside pitch gets away from him, and Eborn's going to advance to third base with no problem at all. And that's going to make it a 2-0 count here to Stewart. So again, the tying run just 90 feet away. And again, it was a leadoff walk by Sampson.
Yeah, and that's whatever Coach Abbott said, that wasn't exactly what he had in mind when he briefly met out there with his guys. And Sampson's going to try to regroup here. And a beautiful bender. And strike one, 2-1 the count here.
Really important for Stewart here just to put the ball in play. Even if you get out, put it on the ground or a deep fly, push that tying run across the plate with only one out. This is a critical at bat.
Stewart, see what he can do. Stays in there. That ball does not get over the plate. Stays inside from Bo. Bo fixing the belt, adjusting the jersey. Fixing his hat. This is the first signs of a little nerves I've seen from Bo. He seems just a little bit.
His control is a little bit off right now. Again, 3-1 the count here.
And a swing and a foul down the first baseline.
I like Stewart's thoughts, though. Again, try to put something on the ground. Get a ground ball or get a fly ball that's deep enough where Eborn can tag and go. This is a critical at bat here for Stewart.
See if he can come up, Mr. Clutch. And no. Struck out looking, an S&S Mechanical strikeout. Don't strike out this summer. Get your AC tune-ups before it gets really, really hot and hits triple digits in the STG. It's supposed to be triple digits today. We're up here. It feels nice.
It's going to be in the 90s, I'm sure.
Appreciate S&S Mechanical.
Now Sampson trying to get out of this jam. Now Matthews doesn't have the luxury of just hitting a ground ball or a fly ball to get that run across. He has to get a hit here.
Swing and a miss from Matthews. Strike one. Off-speed pitch there from Sampson. He got out in front of that one.
Yeah, he did. That's why it was so critical for Stewart to put the ball into play with one out to push that run across, because now Matthews does not have that luxury. He has to get a hit here.
Yeah, he'd love a hit. Strike two right down Broadway.
Maynard caught that low in the zone, but definitely looked like it caught some of the K zone there in the lower portion of it. Hope you're enjoying our center field cam. get a good look at those pitches.
And a swing, and that one's going to be a slow roller to second. Quickly, Barbin whips. Does he get him? Yes, he does. 4-3. Still Barbin flashing the glove.
If Stewart does that, the batter before, that run scores and we're tied up. But because he could not put the ball into play, Matthews does, but he is out at first, and the leadoff walk does not come back to bite Bo Sampson.
We'll take a timeout. Mustangs still lead on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard 1-0. Bottom of the third. Mustangs will get their ABs when we come back to the UCCU ballpark.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you could still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's.
Bin Blasters, now that's a clean can.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Utah Valley University. We've been at Miller Park for 2 days. You know, and I haven't heard any rumblings from any of the coaches or players. I think, two great altar fields, similar in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
I mean, this is a treat for these kids to get up here in these two ballparks and play some games, and it's so close in proximity. You don't have to switch hotels or anything.
Absolutely.
Of course, BYU's getting ready for their West Coast Conference finale, the series against Pepperdine, so the field unavailable Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So Utah, you have played a little midweek set here. So now this field is available, so working out pretty good for the 4A baseball championships. Yeah. Softball's at the Cottonwood complexes.
Yep. And then they'll move over to the Miller Field complex.
Yeah, all the softball and the 4A streaming on KSLSports.com. They didn't have the internet dialed in out there, but hopefully they got those live streams rocking and rolling.
Jager Baldwin takes ball one. Jensen delivers. Baldwin lays down a bunt. It's going to go foul down the third baseline. Proctor grabs it, so there's no chance of it coming back into the field of play.
403 hitter and trying to bunt his way aboard. Is that the shoulder?
I really, truly believe it is the shoulder, Devin, yes, because he did that yesterday late in the game as well. And from what I understand, the information that I got, it was because he was having a difficult time swinging the bat.
Now with a 1-1 count, will he try to bunt his way aboard? You got the element of surprise. Now you don't. He's going to swing, and he's going to rip it through the 5-6 hole.
There you go, Jager.
Shoulder looked okay there, huh?
Yeah, it sure did.
Baldwin with a leadoff single for the Mustangs, and here comes Ty Maynard.
The catcher, number 28.
Who's catching today. You play him on the corners. You can play him third, first, catcher. Same with Starley. Pretty versatile.
Yeah, pretty versatile players here. Even Petey Soto Jr., he can play shortstop. He can play all the outfield positions if needed. But he's so smooth at shortstop. I just love watching him scoop up ground balls. Oh, got him.
Suey Jensen plunks Maynard right in the middle of the back, right in the 2-8 it appeared.
It might have got him on the helmet, or did it get it on the 2-8?
I couldn't tell if he turned in time to take it off the back or the back of the helmet. He's kind of rubbing the neck area, back of the head area.
Here we go. Here it is, right here, Dev.
He turns. Yeah, it looked like
it
top of the shoulder blade, right there, the middle of the upper back. And they're going to pinch run for him. Check him out. A little more speed on the base pass anyway.
Skinner out there pinch running. Actually, he's a speed up runner anyways, because Ty being the catcher.
Stick around for more coverage later. Our Bucks Ace Hardware look ahead, if you're not sick of us yet. We got Snow Canyon, They'll be taking on Mountain Crest. Dixie will play the winner of this elimination game later on today. Still 2 more games to come. We don't know if we'll have games tomorrow or not. If Crimson wins 2 in a row, yeah, they'll play again tomorrow. But if Snow Canyon and Dixie win the evening slate of games, we won't have a game for you tomorrow. We'll have an off day here and go into a best-of-3 championship. But Green Canyon, Mountain Crest, Crimson, all hope that's not the case. Flyer fans, Warrior fans wouldn't mind that. What a catch by the catcher, Proctor. Wow. And then he tries to kind of double it up out there, but Jaeger was back in time.
Yeah, heads up running by Jaeger. Getting back to second base. Yeah, close. We're in a ball game here.
Yeah, 1-0. Crimson has the lead. Trey Evans steps in. Righty on righty matchup here. Suey Jensen rocks, fires, swinging and a miss. That one had some late break on it. Dropping off the plate, down and away. Evans walked in his first at-bat. Trey tries to go the other way, and it's going to twist foul. Cache Valley Bank foul ball.
Over into the Green Canyon bullpen. Down the first base side of this beautiful complex. The Mustangs, the home team, are on the third base side. Again, both teams wearing their white jerseys. Obviously, Green Canyon trimmed in green. Crimson Cliffs trimmed in red.
Here's Evans now. 0-2 pitch is down low. 1-2 the count. Trey had a monster season. I mean, monster season last year. And
yeah, he did.
Again, like we were mentioning earlier, the hamstring injury kept him out all year long.
Yeah. And Crimson still able to get the number 2 seed, RPI-wise.
Lua came in and did a nice job for him in the outfield. He did,
yeah.
McKay Wright stepped up, got some time. You got Parker Andrus, who's not in the lineup today. They can give you innings.
Let's talk about McKay Wright for a minute. He's one of the only players I know of that's gotten 2 home runs in 1 inning this year. Have you heard of that?
And he's hitting 450. And a swing and a drive. This one pulled by Evans. Going back, jumping, can't get to it. One hops off the wall, and it's going to be a 2 RBI double for Trey Evans. He's back. Chop the hammer.
The outfielder, the left fielder out there, Stewart, did what you can't do as an outfielder. His first step was in, and it ended up costing him on that because he was about 1 step away from making that play. If we've got that in a replay, I would love to see his initial step. It looked to me when I was watching it live that he took 1, maybe 2 steps in, and then he couldn't catch up to it. Here it is.
3-0 now after this from Trey Evans as he just really turned on that baseball.
Yeah.
And I think he thought he had a beat on it.
Well, again, he
kept sailing.
When I was watching it live, he took his first initial step in, and as an outfielder, you can't do that, and it ended up costing him because he was about 1 step away from making that catch.
So the 2 RBI double from Trey Evans has given the Mustangs a little cushion here. And still just 1 out, bottom 3rd inning. And Brex Starley will step in and take that one a little bit high for ball 1. Here's pitch 2 in the sequence, breaking ball down in the dirt. Down the turf.
Yeah.
Forget we're on turf fields this week.
I'll bet catchers and umpires really appreciate this, though, too. It's not so dusty and dirty down there.
I think everybody likes the true roll, right?
Yeah.
When you're fielding a grounder. I think the hitters like it if you smoke one in the alleyway because like this one. This might get all the way to the wall. He's going to cut it off. No, he can't. It just shoots off the turf all the way to the left center field gap. Brex Starley's going to dig in and then put on the brakes. It's an RBI double, back-to-back RBI hits by Evans and now Starley, and it's 4-0 Mustangs.
Boy, that was on cue.
And he had to golf that one. That was a low pitch.
That
he went down and got.
As we're talking about how the turf just makes those alleyways just skip that ball. And it's like a speedway in those alleyways. And on he tested out, and you were absolutely right, Devin. Those balls hitting there, those line shots, they hit the ground and they just scoot. You know, where grass and dirt will kind of slow it up a little bit. Brexton Starley, man, he is quite the athlete. I mean, he's a big kid, but he's very fast, very athletic. He's quick. And there is a difference between being quick and fast. He is both.
Yeah.
Coleman Bob now looks like he's going to hop on the bump for the Wolves.
Yeah, we're going to take a break. Pitching change brought to you by Nets on Fire. Coleman Bob into pitch. We'll talk more about his numbers. 4-0 Mustangs. Back-to-back RBI doubles by Evans and Starley. And the Wolves are going to the bullpen when we come back after this 60-second timeout.
Inspired design. Ultra-quiet operation. To you, it's a Bright Evolution cooling system. To us, it's the ultimate machine.
All set.
For the dealer nearest you, visit Bryant.com.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
For 20% off, houseofjump.com.
Coleman Bob into pitch as we're back here, UCCU field here, home of the Wolverines, Utah Valley University. Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave. The pitching change comes a little more early than I'm sure Coach Buback would like. I mean, but you 4-0, you just gave up back-to-back doubles. And there is no tomorrow if you lose this game. So he had a feeling. Sometimes a manager, you got a feeling you got to make a move, and he goes and makes a move there.
Absolutely. And, you know, Jensen was throwing the ball pretty well. I don't put it all on him.
Well, that first inning, he looked so incredible.
9 pitches, he was out of the inning. Struggled a little bit more in the second inning, but got away with it with only giving up 1 run. But the Mustangs make you pay with mistakes, and they put 3 in the bottom of the third here.
Coleman Bob's numbers, 10 1/3 of work, giving up 13 runs, 8 earned, walked 13, struck out 18. ERA is up a little bit to 5.42 earned run average for Coleman Bob, who just swaps with Jensen. He goes to third, Bob goes to the mound. So pretty easy switch there for Coach Buback.
Lineup won't change at all.
Bob, the right-handed pitcher, swing and a miss, strike 1. Ty West, left-handed hitter. Incredible numbers this year, hitting for average.
And it really just magnifies what the Wolves couldn't do in the top of this inning and push that run across. I mean, right now, that makes it a four-run swing right now because they could not do the little things and push that run across.
Ty West hitting .417, 2 triples, 3 doubles, and does have 2 home runs. 19 home runs as a team coming into the state tournament. Haven't hit one in the state tournament yet. Of course, they got the bye over the weekend. Didn't have to play. But they do have home run power. This one pulled. Second baseman Eborn goes and gets it. Not in time to get the speedy West. It's going to be an infield single, I believe, for West. He got to it, came up through, but West just too fast.
Oh, absolutely. That's a single all day long. And I'll fight any scorekeeper that tells me it's not.
So Bob comes in relief and, you know, kind of pitching to contact, letting his defense make a play, but that was pulled so far away from Eborn. He just, by the time he got to it, even though it was a close throw from where he ended up fielding the ball to first base.
Right.
Still the speed of West. And so runners are on the corners here. And there's still just one out in this bottom of the third inning. Already 3 runs have scored. Snap, throw to first. Back in time is Ty West. Game today brought to you by Mountain Land Supply. Your home for commercial or residential Bryant air conditioning units. Mountain Land Supply. The throw. West swipes second. Stolen bases is brought to you by Jason Baum, Bay Equity Home Loans. Need a loan? Call Jason Baum.
I already did a loan last year with Jason Baum.
Probably good you did it before rates were on the rise.
Yeah,
right?
it was right. Actually, it might have been 2 years ago now, because it was right before the rates went up. And it was such an easy process working with Jason Baum. He definitely knows what he's talking about. And it was as painless can be.
4-0 Mustangs. Bob in relief here of Jensen. Runners on second, third. The pitch outside here to McKay Wright. Hitting 450 on the button. Does have, as you mentioned, 2 home runs in the same inning. That was a home game at the field house at Crimson Cliffs. He's got 4 doubles, 3 triples.
I'll tell you what, that's something that a very, very small percentage of players can say they've done.
And there's a shot, and it's a single, and he is 2 for 2 in this game, and it's another RBI hit for the Mustangs. This one off the bat, and 2 runs will score as the Speedy West, after swiping the bag, comes home. 2 RBI single, McKay Wright barreling it up.
Wow. Yeah, that was a shot, and you're exactly right, Deb. He did barrel that up. In fact, it almost got out to the center fielder too fast. But West easily scored from second as well.
And Coleman Bob, that one's darting down and away.
Yeah.
And McKay Wright still just that great hand-eye coordination to sharply drive that one right back up the middle. And now it's a 6-0 lead for the Mustangs. Here is Tate Maynard. Tate fouls it off out of play.
And that's the thing too, is you know, you get done with one of these batters in this Mustang lineup, and then you got another 380, 400 hitter coming up, or a 440 or a 460 hitter coming up. It just doesn't end in this Mustang lineup.
And a little casual throw to say, I'm paying attention, but I'm not trying to throw you out at first. Bob letting the ball hang in his right hand. Checking the runner. Tate Maynard at the dish. Snap throw again to first. A little more intent to pick him off there.
Yeah.
6 runs on 7 hits, no errors. The line score presented by Adams Wealth Advisors. Locations Logan and St. George. And no runs on 1 hit. And they do get him here as leaning off the base, McKay Wright is picked off at first base.
If they didn't get him on the initial throw and tag, Wright kind of rolled away and off of the bag, and Stewart kept the tag on him and got him that way. So I don't know if it was on the initial throw and tag or the second tag. But regardless, he is out at first base.
Bob kind of slides to the side of the rubber, now delivers down low. And it's 1 ball, no strikes with 2 away here in the bottom of a 5-run third inning. Crimson got 1 in the second. They've already got 5 plated here in the third. They are the home team. And now Green Canyon really needs to get out of this inning quickly and try to go rattle the bats. Nobody on base after that pickoff move. Coleman Bob rocks, fires outside part of the plate. Strike 2. Good pitch there from Coleman Bob. And count now full.
I don't.
And he beamed him. Maynard aboard. Hit him right off the batting helmet. Right off the lid. And I guess that's better than... You got at least some protection there.
They must have something against the Maynards right now, the Wolves do, because Ty got hit in the exact same spot. Now Tate gets hit in the same spot.
And that's just a breaking ball he's trying to duck underneath.
Right off of the helmet.
It literally 12 right off the top of the helmet.
Yep.
Off-speed pitch. Maynard is fine. And here is still Barber. First pitch swinging, popped him up. Giving chase over there is Stewart, and the right fielder Matthews coming in, and it falls harmlessly for strike one.
Such a tough play for a first baseman to make. I saw Freddie Freeman of the Dodgers make that play about 2 or 3 weeks ago. He made it look easy, but that is a tough play for most first basemen to make.
And the wind has picked up just a little bit, kind of blowing across the diamond from first to third.
Strike two. Coleman Bob painted the outside corner on that one.
You love to get out of here with a K and end this big inning for the Mustangs. So offensively, they put up 5, and they lead 6-0. Mustangs, after just scoring 1 run on Monday and losing to this Green Canyon team, they scored 8 yesterday and already 6 today. So the bat's starting to come alive for the number 2 overall seed, and there's another hit. The hit parade continues for the Mustangs here. Barbin pushes it through between first and second. And rally stop, 2-out rally in effect here for Coach Abbott. And the Cliffs.
And back to the top of the order here, Jager Baldwin getting his third.
And he led off this inning with a hit.
That's right. That was a long time ago.
They've hit around, folks.
Yes.
He tried to bunt a board, and that was foul, and then he went ahead and roped it through the 5-6 hole.
That's right.
Later scored. But that was against Jensen, and so this is Baldwin's first AB against Bob, as they chased Suey Jensen out after it was 4-0. They've already added 2. Can the Mustangs add more? Baldwin wants to. Bob does not. Bob missing ball 1. Maynard's at second. Barbin's at first. Leadoff hitter at the plate. They'll spin off and fake the throw.
Now, I don't know what kind of information that Barbin was getting over there first, but he went diving back in there head first, and Bob still had the ball on the bump.
And Stewart at first isn't even holding the ball. He's playing behind him, but Bob's going to deliver the pitch, fouled straight back. And it's 1-1 the count now. Jager Baldwin in the Buck Brand Beef Batter's Box. Buck Brand Beef, Utah, grass-fed cattle from Kanab, Utah. Email buckbrand@gmail.com. Or if you want to call and you want certain cuts, you want a half side, a full side of beef, they're taking orders. And I'll give you the phone number after this pitch inside. And it's 435-644-2825. Write it down. Remember the number, 435-644-2825. Stock that freezer up with some T-bones, some fillets, some hamburger for your grill in summer. And a swing, just protecting the plate, and he fights it off into the bullpen area. Another Cache Valley Bank foul ball. Reminder, we'll name a defensive play of the game presented by Morgan Pest Control. Over 60 years serving Southern Utah. Look for the red trucks. Well, we've also got to name a Jersey Mike sub of the game in our Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show. We will have about 30 minutes between this game and the next game, that Snow Canyon Mountain Crest game that will be coming up next. The winner of this game will play Dixie at 7 o'clock, the scheduled time later tonight. The loser of this game, season comes to an end.
Yeah, this is an elimination game.
And did it hit him?
Yep, it got him.
Yep, Baldwin is aboard. It just brushed him. And now nowhere to put Ty Maynard. Bases loaded again. And you had the bases cleared, 2 outs, and now they're loaded back up again.
They could blow this game wide open. Even worse than it is right now. 6-0 right now. Mustangs over the Wolves. Ty Maynard hit by pitch last at bat. Remember, we were kind of questioning if it got his upper shoulder, if it hit the helmet first. But regardless, he was able to take first.
Yeah. And here he is again. And obviously, rub some dirt on it. well, maybe a little sand off the top of the turf, and
now
Maynard's back out there.
If Bob comes in inside and hits Ty, I got to think there's something personal against the Maynards, because shortly after Ty was hit, Tate was hit. And now Ty's back up.
I don't think he wants to hit him here, Mark. That'll score a run, and it's already 6-0. So Bob wants a punch out. That's what he wants.
Definitely.
And he's already behind in the count 2-0.
Yeah, nowhere to put him.
Bob, though, with the base load, can put all his focus on the batter. Wild pitch, and here comes the runner. And head first slide, and scoring are the Mustangs yet again. Tate Maynard safe at home, no throw. Getting wide dimensions here to the backstop in the net area. So 7-0 Crimson now.
And to make matters even worse, it's a 3-0 count. Ty is probably taking on this pitch, but he'll have a green light on the next pitch if Bob's not able to throw it over the plate. There it is.
Coleman Bob, a much needed strike for the Wolves.
But now Ty has a green light, and Bob again needs to put it over the plate. There is a base open, so a walk wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Maynard puts a swing on that one into the alleyway in right center field, and it's going to get down. It's going to be a 2 RBI single for Maynard, and the Mustangs lead 9-0. They have opened up the hit parade here at Utah Valley University.
Now they're just showing off, Devin. 9-0 right here, bottom of the third still, and we're still going. I mean, Petey Soto Jr., we're getting now in the meat of this lineup again.
And maybe Matthews could have took the angle and dove, but if he doesn't get it.
But at this point, I say do it, because at this point, those 2 runs are scoring regardless. Now, I mean, maybe Maynard would end up at second, but I say lay out for it. It would have ended the inning.
You got to trust the judgment, though. Matthews didn't think he could get to it, so he pulled off of it. And a shot from Soto to short. Atkinson has it over to second. It gets away. It's going to go into the right field area, and runners are safe at second and third now. And the rally stop 2-out rally continues here for the Mustangs. And now Trey Evans steps in with runners in scoring position to continue to try to lay runs on this scoreboard.
Boy, I thought we had the makings of a
8-run inning already.
Yeah, I thought we had the makings of a close baseball game as this was going to be, but boy, the Mustangs have just lit it up here.
Ooh.
It got him.
And Evans gets grazed.
I don't think he really wanted to go.
I think Evans wanted to hit.
I think so too. No question about it.
I think Evans, who just had ripped a double his last at bat over that field and picked up 2 RBIs already in the inning. I think he wanted to swing the bat there, but he won't get the opportunity. Now the bases are loaded again, and nobody is warming up in the bullpen. So if Coach Buback is going to make a move, it's going to probably be for somewhere out in the field. But at this point on a Wednesday, it's already 9-0.
Yeah.
He's just hoping Coleman Bob can work himself out of this inning sooner rather than later.
Yeah, for sure.
And that gut instinct to pull Jensen out has not paid dividends, because the Mustangs, who are starting to see Jensen, have seen Coleman Bob right here all inning long. Already 8 runs in, bottom of the third. Bob rocks, fires, and it's low. Ball 1 to Brexton Starley, who also had an RBI double earlier in the inning. And Brex is looking for a little more. Nowhere to put him. Got to pitch to him.
Looking to pad those stats a little bit. Not that he needs to. He's already going to play next level baseball up at CSI in Twin Falls.
College of Southern Nevada, CSI.
Those are
College
legit.
of Eastern Utah.
Those are legit programs.
Quite some good rivalries.
Yes.
In that conference.
They are a wood bat conference, I believe, as well.
Yeah, and
makes it kind of fun.
If you're a D1 coach, you're recruiting those JUCOs, you got to translate the numbers, right?
Yeah,
you got to kind of
absolutely
know that if a guy's doing this with a wood bat, you can expect this.
Yeah.
So you got to be aware of that, obviously.
There's definitely going to be some math involved, and that's not going to be me doing those formulas. But, yeah, you're exactly right, Deb.
Well, if you're hitting 350 with a wood bat, your number should go up with the...
Absolutely. With an alloy.
Yeah, I don't know what, if you somebody's probably done the math on that across the country, but I haven't.
I'll bet our boss, B-Row, could put together some sort of a formula on an Excel sheet.
And there's a good pitch from Coleman Bob on a 2-1 count. Now evens up 2-2. Bases loaded full of Mustangs. They lead 9-0. This one's getting away from Green Canyon. They need to get out of here without any more damage to have any chance in a swing and a miss. And finally, the inning comes to an end. An S&S mechanical strikeout for Coleman Bob on some high cheese. But not before 8 runs on 7 hits, no errors, and they hit around. And Mustangs lead on the Wilkinson scoreboard over Green Canyon 9-0. Can the Wolves start grinding? Get back in this game. Stay tuned to find out when we come back here on the Fan Sports Network, KSLSports.com, and 107.7.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
Back live here, UCCU Field, Utah Valley University. And just got that black Wolverine out there in center field. And look at that scoreboard right now. 9 runs.
Yeah. Woo. They opened this up very quickly, the Mustangs did. And at times, it was like they were just showing off out there. They are really seeing the ball well. It's like I was listening to Cannon Seacrest's call this morning, and it's like they're seeing watermelons out there.
Yes, indeed. So here are the Wolves now trying to just regroup one pitch at a time, trying to get some base runners aboard. Still only the top of the 4th inning, and that's a little bloop single. Yes, he gets down and flips away. But he will stay put at first, and that's a good way to start the inning off of Bo Sampson.
Absolutely. Green Canyon's like, hey, we are still here.
The pitcher, number 20.
And I think for them, it's just about answering that big inning with something, even if it's one, just to give them some positive momentum going forward in this game. Obviously, you want more than one. You want to get greedy as a baseball team, but you have to answer that 8-run half inning.
And then pitch there for a called strike. Well, the problem is, Crimson comes in as a team, best team batting average in the 4A state tournament at 486. And you look at Green Canyon, and they come in hitting 287 collectively.
Which is still good, but it's not 486.
Yeah, they need to hit 486 the next 4 innings in a row, though, to get back in this game. Jack to swing and went around. Coleman Bob now down in the count 0-2. Finally got that strikeout with the bases loaded to at least keep the hope alive a little bit.
Yeah.
If you would have had Starley take 1 yard for a grand slam, this game would have been over.
That pitch fouled straight back, so Atkinson's going to have to go back to first as he was going on the pitch. And again, Green Canyon just kind of putting some plays in motion, making his players swing the bat, the hit and run. And when you put runners in motion, that moves the defense a little bit as well. Sometimes you can get that pitch in and up. for a ball.
And Bob's been patient. That's what you like to see. That's how this Green Canyon Wolves team started this game.
Yeah, it really was.
And I don't think they're going to change that approach now that they're down 9-0. They got to continue to stay patient. Sampson will throw to first, check the runner. He's back in plenty of time. Over there is Atkinson.
I do agree with the be patient, but also just add in a little bit of aggressiveness as well, though. You got to be a little bit more aggressive than maybe what
aggressive.
Than your previous plan of attack was.
That one missing from Sampson. 2-2. Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave, hanging out with you. Appreciate all of our great partners that you're hearing and seeing.
Pickoff attempt no good by
Sampson. Do we have any more softball score updates?
Let me see what I can pull up here,
Get some Nets on Fire Region 10, Region 11, 4A updates. You had all those games at noon should be final about an hour ago in softball. The only one I saw was Desert Hills won 1-0 over Skyview. And there's I look down for score.
Right now,
Searching.
Lady Warriors
playing Ridgeline.
The Lady Hawks, Snow Canyon Ridgeline 0-0. They're going to the bottom of the second right now.
Okay. So that's game 2 up there. Cottonwood Sports Complex. Ridgeline won 2-0 over Mountain Crest. Snow Canyon won 2-0 over Crimson, or 3-1 over Crimson. Sorry, Ridgeline won 9-0. And there's a strikeout. Bo Sampson, S&S Mechanical K for Bo to hang on the board.
And I will say the Lady Thunder Desert Hills softball is up 2-0 right now over the Lady Bears of Bear River.
And that's a big game. That's the 2-3 seeds going at it right there.
Absolutely. That's a big matchup right there.
Yeah, Bear River beat Cedar 7-2, and Desert Hills beat Skyview 1-0.
That was earlier today.
Yep. So your winners were, Ridgeline and Snow Canyon. They're playing, and Bear River and Desert Hills, and they're playing. Keep an eye on those 4A softball games. And, of course, the live stream, KSLSports.com, if you want to watch some softball. Or we'd love to have you stay with us here. And not a close game right now, 9-0, but you have a runner out there in scoring position. But Coleman Bob struck out for out number 2. For Bo Sampson, that was S&S Mechanical strikeout number 5 on the K counter. K meter, whatever you want to call it. Sampson breaking ball, in for a strike on the inside part of the plate.
Boy, I'm loving this center field camera look that we have, and you can really see the break on the ball on Bo Sampson's off speed.
Yeah, great shots from our camera crew today. Everybody working hard. Swinging a miss. And strike 2 on the Wolves, who need a key hit with a runner scoring position just to get the goose egg off the scoreboard.
Yeah. Like I said, just answering that big inning with something would just give the Wolves a little bit of momentum.
Proctor, chopper to third. Maynard fires in time. They'll throw back to third. Tag not in time. Tate Maynard almost did the splits on the bag at third base there, didn't he?
Close play over there at third. Man, Starley, he got that out at first and just threw a dart over to third. Just about got Atkinson over there.
So now 2 away, almost an unconventional double play. Maynard's right near the bag at third. He fires a clothesline over. They do get the out. And Proctor not there in time. Then back across the diamond. The tag was just a split second.
A fun play to watch.
Great shots again from our camera guys. Dusty Allen, Cannon Sechrist. Who else is on the camera? We got everybody on the camera.
Everybody's on the camera. We got one of the best crews I've ever worked with before here.
Bo Sampson, the 1-0 pitch, swinging a miss. This is Finley. Snow Canyon Mountain Crest coming up after this one. Probably get about a half hour between games. We're just in the top of any number 4 here. 9-0 Mustangs, and Sampson another strike at the bottom of the K zone over the heart of the plate.
Our earlier game, Mountain Crest bested Bear River. Bear River on the way home. That was also an elimination game, as is this one.
Tip of the cap to Coach Hollis, though, and the Bears. Always a scrappy, fun, well-coached team that can really swat it. Kind of ran out of pitching.
Yeah, they were a fun team to watch those 2 previous days.
And you kind of wonder what could have been for the Bears if Ryder Harrison had to walk them off on Monday.
Yeah.
Behind Deegan Rigby's great pitching performance.
Yeah.
Snow Canyon have been the comeback kids. They've had to come back to win by two games by 1 run each night. There's a line out to left. Trey Evans jumps up, makes the play, and that'll do it. In the top half of the 4th, no runs, 1 hit, 1 left on base. We go to the middle of the 4th. 9-0 Mustangs on the Wilkinson scoreboard.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Adams Wealth Advisory is a financial planning firm that is combined with an investment firm to provide the best possible outcomes for our clients.
I always believe if you're intentional with your financial plan, things are going to work out really well for you.
Visit AdamsWealthAdvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
And they'll help you every step of the way. Apply Full Sailors Plus across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart next to Modern Warriors.
Back live here, Utah Valley University. Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave, the entire crew. Caden Formaster, Kansas Seekers, Dusty Allen, Rory back in the studios. Everybody working all week long here. The 4A State Baseball Championships presented by the Boulevard, making your house more like home for 48 years. And let me give a shout out to some of our other great sponsors. Donut Run, they're our home run sponsor, so we haven't got a chance to plug them yet. But if we get one, it'll be a Donut Run home run. Start your mornings at the Donut Run off Brigham Road by KB Express in St. George. And appreciate Ben Blasters. And right now, how about that Trey Evans double over the left fielder, Stewart? That's probably our leading candidate for the Ben Blasters blast the game. Or the line shot to right center. They got all the way to the wall. Was off the bat of Starley, Breck Starley.
And his was on cue because you had just mentioned the speed gaps out here on this turf. And Brexton Starley on cue says, let's see if that's right, Devin. And he proved you right.
Ben Blasters Clean Can Plan. Just go to their website, benblasters.com, get the monthly subscription. Also, appreciate Red Bed Regeneration. You can get lit up with their red light therapy. Swing and a miss. And Ty West leading off the inning for the Mustangs, up by 9 runs.
Boy, it's beautiful weather up here. A lot of the patrons here have moved up into the shaded area. So nice.
Pop up to center, shallow, drifting back just beyond the Wolverine logo, and Ty West flies out to center. 1 away. Red Bed Regeneration. That red light therapy has been used to heal scars and help with inflammation. So if you're playing pickleball and you're getting inflammation, or it's painful to play around a golf, or if you're just looking to burn fat faster, if you want more information on that red light therapy they used originally for astronauts with NASA, Red Bed Regeneration has you covered. You can learn more on their website, redbedregen.com. I've never done it. I'm intrigued. I want to do it.
I am too. When you say burn fat faster, that makes a lot of people's ears perk right up. Everybody wants to drop a few extra pounds going into the summer, get your bikini body. You have a great bikini body, Dev.
Peterson is the new pitcher, right-handed pitcher, 3.33 .35 earned run average. 1-0 record. He's made 10 appearances this year. Given up 20 hits, 16 runs, 11 were earned runs. He's walked 28 and struck out 20, giving up 2 home runs this year. And opponents are hitting .235 against him.
Yeah.
And he got Ty West to fly out. Now he's going to work here on McKay Wright. Wright's being patient, though, isn't he? 3-0 now the count.
Yeah, 3-1 now. He just got that called strike. Scoreboard. Guy's being a little bit delayed. Maybe he didn't see it. Turn away for just a second. Things happen.
Popped up, straight up. Catcher will give it a look, but I believe it's going to get out of play into the stands in front of us. Probably not listening, but if my wife happened to be listening on the Fan Sports Network back in St. George, happy 20th anniversary.
Happy 20th anniversary, Dev. She is getting a straight ticket to heaven, having to deal with you for 20 years.
She's a saint. No
she
question.
is a saint. And I know that she's well loved over at Desert Hills High School.
I thought I'd give a shout out about 3:08 because school's just getting out. So maybe catch her.
Maybe, yeah.
I've already texted her.
Well, she's contracted not to leave the school, though, until, well, maybe at that time. I don't know.
We plan to celebrate next week, the state tournament this week. Oh, a rope shot off the bat of McKay Wright, inches foul down the third base line.
You know, it's so funny. We were talking about that, too, where your anniversary is during the state tournament. My anniversary was on the state football game, Crimson versus Desert Hills, last year as well in November. So
celebrate another day. It's just a day. It's just a day, right?
Both of our wives having to deal with sports.
Pitch from Peterson, chopper, and it just, there's the most top spin I've seen on a ball as it shot under the glove. And I believe that'll be a double for McKay Wright.
You know, nobody more shocked that it wasn't in his glove than Jensen. Jensen actually looked in his glove, and he's like, where's the ball? Because he just took a stab at it, thought he had it, but it wasn't in there.
If they score that a hit like I did.
I scored in there. Again, I'm a little tougher, though.
But it
yeah, but he was right there. He was there.
Backhand stab?
Backhand stab. That's how they teach you to do it now. What'd they score it? Do you know yet?
Game changer for Crimson, scored it a hit. The scoreboard, was there 2 errors already on the board?
There was only 1 on the board.
So so you've got it both ways.
Yeah.
One scorekeeper says one say the other. You say one way, I say the other. So, yeah, and that's the.
Again, I lean on the little tougher side of it. They do teach that backhand.
Some of my St. George people might know Fred Dugan. Fred was the top scorekeeper. Score kept it.
They've got Wright in a rundown between second and third. They get the tag there.
That is out number 2, but getting down to second on that play was Maynard.
Yeah, Maynard with a heads-up base run. As he was in the rundown, he just rounded first and went to second.
9-0 Mustangs. And here's still Barbin stepping in with 2 away. We're in the bottom of inning number 4 here. Scheduled 7-inning contest. One thing we have not seen since the Super Regionals, because is an extra inning game. None of the games have went extra innings. Pop up over there. Coleman Bob going and getting it, and that is out number 3. So Barbin pops up over there at first.
Boy, kind of a boring 4th inning after that 3rd inning.
And a good job by Peterson to come in and get 3 quick outs. And now the Wolves will try to go back to work here as we go to the 5th here on the Fan Sports Network. 9-0 Mustangs on the Wilkinson scoreboard.
In Utah, we love our sports. At KSL, we live and breathe sports. Wherever the action is.
Look who we found in Pasadena.
We're there. Wherever you are. Tune in. On air, online, and on the new KSL Sports app. We cover it all. From high school to pro. And the only radio team that's home to the Utah Jazz. KSL Sports Live and KSL Sports Zone. The one team that never stops tracking your teams.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Proud sponsor, Region 10 Athletics.
No matter how you're accessing us on your Wednesday afternoon, thank you. Always love to say thank you to our viewers on KSLSports.com, our listeners in Cache Valley on 107.7, and, of course, everybody back on the flagship for high school sports and Utah Tech University in St. George, the Fan Sports Network. Devin Dixon, Mark Musgrave, and just a lovely day. Temperatures 73, 74. Slight little breeze has picked up, but it's a great day to be at the yard.
Yeah, it certainly is.
And not doing yard work.
Absolutely. I got to say, the UHSAA ordered up some perfect weather, and yes, Mr. Clough does take credit for that. He told me the other day. So, again, thank you, Mr. Clough, for ordering up this perfect Provo weather for the state for a baseball tournament.
Swing from Jensen. Suey Jensen fouls it straight back.
You mentioned Utah Tech and the Fan Sports Network. I saw one of our football co-broadcasters, Jay Schrader, the other day.
Over at Al's?
Yeah,
I saw him there too.
He says that he's on board for his continuing partnership with Utah Tech and broadcasting in their football booth. So always good to see Mr. Jay Schrader.
Yeah, former Raider Jay Schrader. Of course, you got Jimmy Garoppolo, the starting quarterback for the Raiders, coming to the Death Star this fall. Great place to watch a game. And Jensen's worked the 2-2 count here against Bo Sampson. Starter still in for the Mustangs. Here in the top of inning number 5. Sampson, the lefty, going to rock, fire, and miss. Just a bit outside full count.
Bo's up at about 73 pitches, and with a 9-0 lead, I'm sure that 85, is it 80 or 85?
You got to be 80, 84 or less.
Okay, so I'm sure.
Under 85. And a swing and a drive into center field. That's a sharply hit single by Suey.
So I'm sure Coach Abbott is keeping an eye on that. Again, with this lead, you have that luxury.
You could, because if you keep him 2 days rest, he would be available on Saturday.
Absolutely, and that's the day that you want him available for sure.
And you've got movement down in the Mustang bullpen right now. One of the right-handed relievers is pitching. I can't tell if that's Morris or somebody else. I would guess Morris would start the next game. And this might be it for Sampson. He might go get him here after that hit. Slow walk from Justin Abbott.
Coach Abbott was probably listening to the broadcast and said, oh, yeah, maybe I'll go out and get him.
He's going to go get him.
Yep.
And he's going to give him some love. He got a shutout, 3-hit shutout. That was just the third hit of the game for Bo, who gives his catcher some love to Ty Maynard. And Bo getting some love from the Mustang crowd here. Well-deserved. Great performance for Bo. And he's fine to come out because he's hoping he does get a pitch again in the state tournament.
Absolutely. He is no question thinking that he's going to pitch again.
Pitchy change. We'll take the break. We'll come back and tell you all about it. Great day for Bo Sampson. 75 pitches, 3-hit shutout baseball for Bo. He struck out 5 and walked just 1. We'll take just a 30-second timeout, and we'll come back and tell you about the new pitcher here on the Fan Sports Network, KSLSports.com, and 107.7.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you can still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's.
Because home is who we are.
So Cottom is in to pitch, and that tells you that they're saving Aaron Morris for this next game with a 9-0 lead. I got to imagine that Aaron Morris would be the starting pitcher. And Cottom, I don't have any varsity stats on Cottom. This might be his varsity debut, and that happens sometimes as you get a little bit later into a state tournament where you We knew Crimson had pitching for days. It wasn't enough innings to go around during the regular season, so this kid's probably got good stuff. We just don't know much about him.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting. He probably pitched a lot of JV, I would imagine. I'm sure that he has innings logged, just not varsity innings. I'm looking at him warm up right now. Looks like he's got pretty good velocity. I haven't seen him throw his off-speed stuff yet, but there's a throw. Not bad. Stayed up in the zone, but yeah, it'll be he's going to get a drink of water.
So caught him in the pitch.
That's funny. Just that he throws some warm-up pitches. He had one of his teammates bring him out just a little cup of water, and he's going to He's going to throw another warm-up pitch, and we'll get ready to go. I've just never seen that before. Right during the warm-ups, one of his teammates brings out a cup of water. He takes a break from throwing some warm-ups, drinks the water, and throws 2 more warm-ups. Here we go.
I love it. I love it. By the way, coming up next, Snow Canyon and Mountain Crest. And guess who's going to drop by the booth? Our alumni tour continues, Mark.
Oh, who is it?
Former Snow Canyon Warrior and current Utah Ute Landon Fry.
All right.
Going to stop by the broadcast booth for the next game.
Nice. It's always fun when those alumni come in and talk a little bit about their high school career, also talk about the game that's going on, talk about what they're doing now.
We'll test his color commentary skills, too.
Yeah, I'll take a break for a second. I'll just kind of stay quiet.
Caught him. Strike. That's how you come in out of the bullpen, huh? Fire strike, give you a little confidence. Mr. Cottom ready to go here. Pitch number 2 in relief of Bo Sampson. Right-handed pitcher just misses down and away. He didn't get in at bat, so he's been a JV guy all year long.
Yeah.
Just checked Max Preps, Game Changer, and Des News. No statistics on Cottom, but he looks confident right now.
You can
2-1 count.
You can tell by his form, how he delivers the ball, pitching from the stretch, that he's not a stranger to pitching. It's just been on the lower levels right now at JV.
It reminds me when I was doing a game many moons ago, and this scrawny little 6-foot freshman named Chunter Nyberg came in the state championship and won the game. And I'm like, tell me about this Chunter Nyberg. Like, you don't know much about the freshmen. They haven't earned their stripes. They're not upperclassmen. And little do we know, he'd go on to have a great career as a Flyer and then as a BYU Cougar.
Yeah.
His brother, Hobbs Nyberg, still playing football at BYU. We've seen some I remember Riley Gates as a freshman. Marcus Littlewood raking as a freshman. I mean, we've seen some talented freshmen.
Cooper Vest as a freshman.
Cooper Vest, walk off grand slam as a freshman. I mean, are you kidding me, Coop? Caught him. And that one's Eborn fouling it up and out of play. Cache Valley Bank, foul ball. He's a solid JV pitcher. And, 3.3 ERA is what I'm told. I'm doing some homework. And 44 strikeouts.
All right.
Freshman year.
All good numbers. Especially that 44 strikeouts.
Yeah. Popped him up, but it might get out of play down the third baseline. It does.
Right there. Nice hands by one of the fans there. Looks like he's wearing a Snow Canyon hat.
Pitched 27 innings, 20 walks. So 44 strikeouts, 20 walks. Those are JV numbers, though.
Yeah.
But still, those are the numbers we have on Cottom. Doesn't seem nervous, does he?
No, he doesn't.
Making his varsity debut in the state tournament. That one pulled foul.
Tate giving chase, but it's going to go into the bullpen. Actually, even left of the bullpen.
Yeah, on the grass berm above the Mustangs third base dugout.
But that's a great place to watch a baseball game. Kind of bring a blanket and just kind of chill right there. Might get a foul ball every now and then.
You'd spill your drink. You don't have a flat surface.
Leave it to you to go to the drink.
Caught him. Breaking ball and a beauty. An S&S mechanical strikeout for the freshman. Caught him. That was a beautiful late-breaking hook.
Yeah, he broke that one off big time. And Eborn just didn't even know what to do with it. Jensen still down at first, kind of just staying quiet down there. He inches off the bag a little tiny bit. That got Peterson, so he's going to take first base. Jensen's going to go down to second base as we move in here in the top of the fifth.
Here is Stewart. Yeah, and look, he's not going to have a long leash here, but you're up 9-0. You just want Cottom to come in, log some outs. You're not trying to necessarily get a shutout, but you'd love to, you're kind of saving your other pitching as you're looking ahead. And you can do that when you're up 9-0.
Absolutely.
But obviously Coach Abbott is confident in Cottom. He's still got to make the decision to roll him out there, and his arm looks live. For a freshman, he's got good velo. And beautiful pitch there, strike one. Stewart took it.
Yeah, again, Coach Abbott with that luxury of having to go to the freshman, being that the bats really, not that they woke up, because they woke up yesterday, but they stayed awake today. They put 8 in the bottom of the third to widen this gap to 9-0. So if they can get 3 outs here and then just score 1, if they can hold Green Canyon to no runs here, this game's over. And Green Canyon will have to make the trip home.
Caught him. Take a look out at the runner at second. Double take. Now he'll come to the plate with the pitch, and it's lifted into center field. Going back, Ty West camps underneath it. He's going to try to throw down to third as the runner's going to tag, and the throw's just not in time.
And just offline by about 2 steps as well. So good base running by Jensen, getting a good jump down there after tagging up.
But big out for Cottom.
I'm a little surprised that Peterson did not move from first to second when he saw that throw going to third.
And here is Matthews. Matthews today 1 for 2. Led off single back in the first, got stranded at third. So 1 for 2 day. Love to go 2 for 3 here and score a run and get that shutout off the board for the Wolves. A big cut there. And he came up empty. Fooled him speed-wise, I think.
Yeah, he was definitely fooled. That is not what he was looking for.
And when you're looking at a freshman coming in a big moment like this, even though you do have the big cushion, he's still nerves, and his command is good. He's over the plate. You got good defense behind you. You don't need to come in and strike out 3 guys in a row.
Absolutely.
That one gets away from Maynard behind the dish, and a run will score from third base, and runner will advance from first down to second, and it's now a 9-1 game. And I think Maynard, instead of sliding to block it, tried to backhand it.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that was a wild pitch, more like a pass ball. It was not an easy play to make.
Correct.
Maynard.
Yeah.
Well, that's also where you go and look at the scoring and say, what'd you see and what'd you see, and make a ruling there on the old score sheet. Bender framed up nicely, strike 2. 1-2 the count now on Matthews, the right fielder. Good speed. Infield playing normal depth. Outfield playing a little more shallow. Matthews not a power hitter. And the little wheel route on there by Petey Soto.
Yeah.
And so Peterson loops back to the bag there at second. And everybody kind of resets. Ball hanging in the hand of Cottom. Cottom checks the runner. The right-handed pitch. Just a bit downstairs. 2-2. Pace slowing just a bit here in the top of the fifth. Green Canyon finally a run under their belt. They need more. They need a little 2-out rally.
Yeah, they do.
2-out rally time brought to you by Rally Stop. Stop by your Utah Rally Stop. Oh, he plunked him. Maybe trying to bend that one back in and it slipped out of his hand, and Matthews is aboard. So 2 on, 2 out. Matthews hit by the pitch.
And he just needs to go back. Cottom just needs to go back to just challenging these hitters. You know, he's got one of the best defenses in the state of Utah behind him. I would utilize that as a pitcher and not try to bite off the corners too much. Just kind of pound that zone a little bit, pitch to contact, and let that great defense do its job.
Cottom winds up and fires this one just a bit high. Kind of chest high across the Wolves logo, it appeared. Nibbling at the top of the K zone. Not high by much, but it was upstairs. And that's ball one. And this is Atkinson, the shortstop.
He's had a great season for the Wolves. Batting right at 400. Shortstop, pitcher.
Caught him, popped him up.
Should be the third out.
Caught him going over to get it, and he runs into the base runner, loses his mitt, and can't make the catch.
Now, I'm not sure if
that's an out.
I'm not sure if I call that. I don't know the exact rule on that. I mean, he was in the baseline, and he has just as much right to be there as more so than the fielder does. Again, I'm not sure of the. We can watch it here. Now, is he number 5 takes off?
What do they call infield? They don't call an infield fly.
Well,
they call the first base umpire. You can see him point, and then he rules him out.
Yeah, I mean, he
pop up.
It is, right.
He can wait and then still get the first safely if he drops it, but it's in foul territory.
Right.
So that's why he is ruled out. We'll take the break. 9-1. Wolves do get on the board. We still trail by 8 on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard here on the Fan Sports Network, KSLSports.com, 107.
Inspired design. Ultra quiet operation. To you, it's a Bright Evolution cooling system. To us, it's the ultimate machine.
All set.
For the dealer nearest you, visit Bryant.com.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Rally Stop. Swing on in today.
All right, here we are back at UCCU Ballpark on the campus of UVU. That's Utah Valley University, and it is a gorgeous complex here. And it probably looks a little bit more gorgeous to the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs because they have a 9-1 lead here going to the bottom of the fifth.
Jager Baldwin set to lead things off. 4A State Baseball presented by the Boulevard. Live stream on KSL, brought to you by UCCU.
Anytime you have a 9-1 lead, everything looks just a little bit more pretty. Food tastes better. The sky is a little bit bluer. And that's what the Mustangs are dealing with right now. Pitch up, ball 2, 2-0 the count to Baldwin, who's had a great season, a great state tournament.
And by the way, the numbers I gave you on Cottom, the relief pitcher for Crimson, were his freshman year numbers. He's actually a sophomore. I think I misspoke.
Okay.
So I wanted to correct myself. Hope I don't make. If that's the worst mistake I make all day, I'll be okay.
Deb, you'll make plenty more.
Don't count on it. I'm error-free the rest of the day. Mistake-free baseball, baby.
And Jaeger draws a walk, so he hustles down to first base.
My man Cody was letting me know that. He is now a sophomore.
Well, thank you, Cody, for keeping Double D straight.
Well, I was digging for info, right?
Right, no, I'm with you.
Some of my friends at Crimson Cliffs to get, because we didn't have any stats on Cottom.
I got to bust you a little bit. I know you can take it.
Yep. There's Maynard.
Dish it out just as well as you take it.
Maynard, right-handed batter against the right-handed
Baldwin in motion.
Pitcher. Little hit and run action. And everybody will reset. One on, nobody down. Yeah, 2 runs plated here. This game's over.
Yeah.
10-run rule would be in effect.
It definitely will be. Peterson trying to extend this ball game into the 6th inning. That's the best that the Wolves can hope for. Worst case scenario, like you said, Devin, the Mustangs score 2 runs and this game's over.
Shot up the middle, and he was coming over to cover the bag, and he gets the play over at first. It's a 4-3 put out, and a great stab. Momentum was going towards the bag at second, and Eborn had to put on the brakes and grab that on a hop.
That's what I love about putting runners in motion, that it makes the defense rotate a little bit, and it opens up holes and just puts a little more pressure on the defense to make a play, and it took out the double play there. Baldwin's on second base.
Here's the windup and the pitch to Petey Soto. He'll pull it through the left side, and that might score a run. Baldwin's going to round third, come home. And it is now 10-1 RBI hit through that left side for Petey Soto Jr. Solid piece of hitting there for Petey.
Yes, it was. He, again, just one of those Mustangs that has had a amazing senior season, and he's taken that right into the state tournament here.
And Jaeger never stops as he rounded third.
Absolutely. He was scoring.
Peterson, that's the first run he's given up in relief. He came in last inning, he did a really good job. Put him up and putting him down, but now back to a 9-run advantage here. Bottom 5th. Throw over to first and back in time is Soto.
Petey's got well above average speed. He's got a nice lead out there. One of the biggest leads I've seen out there so far.
There's Trey Evans. In that big inning where they put up 8 runs, Trey had a 2 RBI double. He smoked it over the left fielder's head and one hopped the wall. And then he got hit by a pitch in his second at bat in the 3rd inning. He wanted to get a hit, not get hit, because he was kind of feeling it. We'll see if he stays hot. He's officially 1 for 1 with a walk, hit by a pitch, and a double, and 2 RBIs. The Adams Wealth Advisor stat line.
There goes Petey.
And Petey's safe.
And that was ball 3.
Jason Baum back with a home run, stolen base for Petey Soto.
That was ball 3 to Evans. Did he think it was ball 4?
I don't know.
Because he had taken off his stuff and kind of tossed it down. He had to put it all back on.
Kyle Borer, third base coach, kind of wondering the same thing for the Mustangs. 10-1 Crimson Cliffs. Mustangs.
Ooh.
Trey Evans, big cut. That looked like he was trying to go Yahtzee on it. And he came up empty, 3-1.
He had the green light on a 3-0 count. I guess that is one of the hitters that he probably has that luxury. He's earned it.
Wind up and the pitch by Peterson. And this one swing, and this one is going to be into left, and it is going to hit the top of the wall, and that is a double off the top of the wall. It hit the yellow, and is it a round tripper or just a double?
Oh, just a double.
And that's game. Doesn't matter.
It is game. It doesn't matter. You're exactly right,
Trey
Kevin.
Evans ends it, and Trey Evans chest bumping teammates there as they 10-run Green Canyon 11-1 after 5, and the Mustangs moving on later tonight for a Region 10 showdown against the Dixie Flyers.
Wow. I cannot wait for that one. My goodness.
We'll take a break. Message from our great partners. Then we come back, clean it all up, just like Dr. Cody Johnson at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry. Post-game wrap-up show, hand out some awards, get you all the final statistics right after this. 11-1 the final on the Wilkinson scoreboard. Crimson advances to tonight around 7 o'clock against the Dixie Flyers.